So our transformation question, we've got to reflect the shaded shape in the line y equals x. So we are reflecting through a diagonal line. Our reflection points will go across at right angles to the line, so in effect we're going to count diagonals to get our points on the other side of the line. Or you can use tracing paper to do this. With tracing paper you need to trace out the shape, press a line here and fold it over, so the shape will effectively go over here. But I'll show you the other method using counting diagonal like squares. Well, counting the diagonal moves across each square. So to go from this point through the symmetry line across the same distance out is one diagonal. So we'll mark that there. I'll now go to the bottom point and I'll work my way around each point, going around anti-clockwise. So this point here is 1.5 diagonals, so half one, we'll place it there. So we'll mark that in. We'll now go to the point here. So that's one diagonal, two diagonals, a half, so it's a half, 1, 2. So we now need a point there. And then we come to the point at the bottom, which is here, which is one diagonal, two diagonals, three diagonals, 1, 2, 3. So I need to mark a point here. Then we come to right at the bottom here. So that's 1, 2, 3.5. So that's a half, 1, 2, 3. So that goes there. And then finally we come across to the point here then, which is 1, 2.5, a half, 1, 2. And that gives me the last point, and you can see it gives me that L shape. So we'll draw the L shape in, and we've successfully reflected in the y equals x axis. And again, you could check with tracing paper, making sure that you fold the paper across this line, that it moves across and lands in the position where you've placed it. So part B, on this grid, we've got to enlarge the shaded shape by scale factor 3, centre 0. So if it's going to be scale factor 3, then it will be 3 times bigger, and that's fairly straightforward to do, but we've got to make sure it's done by the centre. So if we're doing it from the centre, then our distance to our enlargement has got to be 3 times as far to each image point. But in fact you only have to need to get it right for 1, and it will get the shape in the right position, and then all you need to do then is scale up by 3. So I'm going to concentrate on getting the point that I'm marking with the red dot in the right place after the enlargement, centre 0. So I've had to come across 1 and up 2. So if I go across 1 and up 2 and across 1 and up 2, and I'll mark that in there, then that should be 3 times as far. I'll show you that's across 1 up 2, across 1 up 2, across 1 up 2, and that makes sure that this point is 3 times, when it moves to its enlargement point, it's 3 times as far away. Now all we need to do now is to make sure that we draw it in 3 times as large. So the bottom part here was 2, and that's now going to be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The base is 6. We're then going to drop down 3. We're then going to come across 3, and I'm basically just making sure that I've enlarged my L shape by 3. Finally, you can do a check to see if you've got it right. If you've got it right, then when you draw lines from the centre to an image point, it should go through the next image point on the same line. If you watch with the red dot, it's doing exactly that. Really, it's best with a ruler for you to see this, but if I take my pen, I'll try and do this freehand, then you'll see that it marks through these 2 points on a straight line, and it will do with all of the others as well. Okay, this is just a sketch using the iPad, but you can see that it works. So the rules are then that our image point must be 3 times as far away from the centre as it was to begin with, and the shape itself must be 3 times as large. So what was 1 now becomes 3, what was 2 now becomes 6, and so on. And that's that question done.